Hey, how you doing? This is Scott Wellington, and I'm going to continue telling who I am. I've learned a lot about myself about doing this little stupid YouTube stuff. This is a lot like working out. It's easy once I'm there. This is easy to do once I'm started, but it takes a lot of mental energy to get off my behind and do this. I'm sorry that it's been so long since the last time I posted. But I've talked myself out of it several days. And part of it's because I'm trying to tell you who I am and my history. And sometimes it's not so pretty and it's not so painful. And I have to face certain demons that I really haven't faced for a very long time. So today I'll talk to you about I moved from Van Nuys, California, which is in Southern California, and I moved to Granada Hills, and they're neighboring towns not too far away. But I was about 7, and I made friends with a male that was older than me. I don't know how old he was. I think he was 9, but I'm 55 now. This was years ago, decades ago. And I thought I was so cool because I'd made a friend that was older than me. Well, he wasn't really so nice, and this is kind of why I hung up myself and held up myself with making a message. He was older than me, and I thought he was cool, and he decided to use his size and strength, and he abused me physically and sexually. And that kind of took me a while to get over all of a sudden. I got over it when I was younger, but to re-talk about it, that's kind of weird and new to me. That wasn't very cool or fun, and it was only a few days that we were allowed to hang out together. And then my parents stepped in and separated us, and I'm not sure what happened to him. That's not my problem. But I know that when I came back to Salt Lake, Utah, to visit my biological father, I had an aunt. I still have an aunt, and she's from Austria. And she was in Austria during World War II. And she has grown up to become a therapist. And so when I was young, I got to meet with her several times on a professional level and kind of use her as a therapist. And the thing that was really good about her is she and I trusted her implicitly. So talking to her was very simple for me. And so she helped me a lot through that, more than she even remembers. But when I was a kid, that was everything to me. Just being that young. It's like it was a huge event. And I don't remember much about what she said to me or what she did to me. All I can really remember is she trusted me and I trusted her. And I remember her telling me that I can either let this define who I am as a person, or I can choose to make this part of my past, something that was bad that happened in my past. Um, that meant a lot to me. That from a woman who was from Austria and Germany during Hitler, she'd been through a lot, and she decided that that was a bad event, and she put it in her past, and it was an unfortunate time, and there was a lot that she went through, and she shared that with me, and she kind of used that with me because what I went through was not nice and not appropriate, and it was something I could either lean on and let it define who I am as a person, or simply make it something that's very bad that happened. So that's where she and I got very, very, very close. And even today, she probably doesn't remember a lot of that, but for me, at age 7, that was a big event in my life. So that's the beginning of sort of some of the bad things I'll share. But I loved Granada Hills and I loved Van Nuys. I loved living there. Trust me, just because this person took advantage of me, um, eh, it's a horrible thing, but I don't let it define who I am. I never have ever since I talked with her. So what I share with you is kind of the attitude I built up back then. This was in about 73, I think. 1973. So anyway, I'm going to close and just say be positive, be a leader, and be optimistic. You always have a choice. It's not always easy to be optimistic. It's a choice. You can choose to be optimistic. You can choose to be positive. People love to be negative and they love to talk down about things. Just stop it and just be optimistic. Thank you and have a good day, and I'll catch up some more tomorrow.